Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Kevin, and in today's video, we're going to be reviewing The Subtle Art of Not Giving a by Mark Manson. Now, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I read this book over a period of time, and honestly, just straight off the bat, I'm gonna tell you that it's easily one of my favorite books that I've ever read. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and if you decide not to watch this whole video, at the very least, take my recommendation and get this book and read it. Now, the front cover says, a counterintuitive approach to living a good life. So, this book that Mark Manson basically made, he's kind of trying to tell us that we've been living our life sort of the incorrect way, and some of the things that we've been taught are incorrect, and he kind of gets into those within the chapters. And he shows us the importance of not necessarily conforming to society. He essentially wants you to take a chill pill and really focus on the things that you actually care about, because you want to kind of think about it in the sense that we have a battery life and a percentage of how many things we can care about. So you don't want to clutter that in your mind. So let's get into it. Now, the first chapter is called Don't Try. And the basic idea of this chapter is that happiness comes from solving problems, not avoiding them. And being too positive can actually be counterproductive for you. It's better to be honest about yourself than to sugarcoat things about yourself just to make yourself feel better. And like I said in the introduction, he introduces the idea that we have a limited number of things that we can care about, so we want to choose wisely. The second chapter is titled Happiness is a Problem, and the main idea of this chapter is that, like I said before, happiness comes from solving problems, not avoiding them. Life is all about suffering, and problems never actually go away. In fact, they actually only get harder or get worse. So what you want to do is solve these problems and grow stronger, and this will increase your happiness. But what you don't want to do is be scared of being uncomfortable and avoiding your problems and constantly chasing pleasures, especially short-term pleasures. Chapter 3, You Are Not Special. He talks about in this chapter how we have an epidemic when it comes to people thinking they're special or super unique or the next best thing. And on the flip side of that, there's also an epidemic of people playing the victim card and just thinking like the world owes them everything for whatever reason it may be. Being able to accept the fact that you're just simply a human being is a good start to increase your maturity and put you on a path to growth and success. You'll be able to find out what you may be good at and what you're passionate about, and what you may not be so good at and what may not really excite you. Chapter 4, The Value of Struggling. Not all struggles are created equal, so you want to choose your struggles wisely as well. Your values determine how you interpret problems and how you measure your own success. So for example, if I'm really passionate about basketball, if I compare myself to someone like LeBron James, I'm probably not going to feel so good about myself, and it's going to be pretty obvious that I'm not as good as him at basketball, and I have no legacy even close to anything that he's built. But if I change my values and I compare myself to the basketball player that I was yesterday or last week or last month or last year, I can see that improvement within myself, and suddenly I feel more successful. And sometimes this is all it takes to get you on the path of success. Chapter 5 is titled You Are Always Choosing, and the basic idea of this chapter is that you always have a choice in how you respond to certain situations. And being able to take responsibility for our actions and our situations, even in extreme hardships, is very motivating and very good for us. He also talks about genetics and the cards that we are dealt in life, and as a result having this victim mindset or mentality. And he basically tells you, hey, you just gotta deal with it. Whatever happens, put it on yourself. And instead of pointing fingers to the outside world, point your finger at yourself and take responsibility for your own life. Chapter 6 is titled, You're Wrong About Everything, But So Am I. And the basic idea of this chapter is that our beliefs and perceptions are often flawed, and being able to be open-minded when it comes to the world is super powerful. Growth comes from being able to recognize our own wrongness and being able to change our minds and being able to admit when we're wrong. If you're constantly stuck in your own ways, there is no possible opportunity for growth to happen. Chapter 7 is titled, Failure is the Way Forward, and it basically talks about how failure is a necessity for growth. He also talks about how action leads to motivation, not the other way around. So you don't want to wait to be motivated. Just simply act, do actions, and the motivation will come with it. He explains this as the do something principle towards the end of the chapter. Chapter 8 is titled, The Importance of Saying No. And the basic idea of this chapter is that it's super important to set boundaries for yourself when it comes to people, things, ideas, situations, because this way you can protect your time and your energy and your well-being. He also talks about how rejection makes your life better, and you really want to see rejection as redirection, as this will help you grow. Whereas avoiding rejection and always staying comfortable is never going to help you grow in any way, shape, or form. Every rejection, regardless of what your goals may be, gets you closer to that end result. And his last chapter is titled, And Then You Die. And the idea of this chapter is that reflecting on mortality can really help you clarify what actually matters to you in this life that you're living. The basic idea is that accepting that you will die one day helps you relax, helps you live more meaningfully, and helps you let go of trivial and little things that aren't really going to matter to you in the long run. He explains that the bright side of knowing that you will die one day is that it'll help you be motivated to live your best life as long as you're still here, and also to let go of your anxieties and your worries, because one day it's all going to be over, so you may as well enjoy it while it's still here. And yeah, guys, that's probably going to do it for this book review. That was a basic summary of what you can expect if you were to read this book. If I'm being honest, I'm going to have to genuinely give this book a 10 out of 10. It's probably one of my favorite books that I've ever read in my life. I highly recommend everyone read it. It also has a lot of cursing in it. Maybe you like that, maybe you don't. I think it's really funny and kind of lightens the mood of the book. So, all around, great book, and I honestly think it's a gold mine, especially for nowadays. So, go and check that book out. But yeah, guys, that's gonna do it for this book review. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm out. Peace!